Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that 50 shit.
Diddy just got hit with another tidal wave. And this time, it's coming straight from 50 Cent, who just cracked the floodgates wide open. Forget rumors. Forget whispers.
Sean Diddy Combs and 50 Cent. These two go back a long time. They have been rivals for a long time. And this week we learned that, at least from Diddy's side of things, this feud apparently went far beyond words. 50 Cent's name came up during the testimony this week of Capricorn Clark. She is a former assistant of Sean Combs who went on to become the head of marketing for his Sean John clothing brand. Clark rose successfully and professionally through the ranks of Diddy's world during her time working for him, which stretched between 2004 to 2018, so she saw a lot. Clark claimed that Diddy would threaten her, and she says he even kidnapped her in 2011. All of this matters as we build up to how 50 Cent kind of factors into what she said on the stand. Now, Capricorn Clark started working for Bad Boy after she worked for Death Row Records. Now, that's surprising, since Death Row was ran by perhaps Diddy's most hated enemy, Suge Knight. Clark said that one of her good friends had a baby with Suge Knight, and that's how she knew him. And in perhaps the most shocking story from her testimony, Clark claimed that shortly after she started working for Diddy, Diddy and his security guards took her to Central Park after dark, and Diddy said, quote, "He told me he didn't know that I had anything to do with Suge Knight, and if anything happened, he would have to kill me." It is an allegation that paints Combs as someone who is ready to take a life. But as Capricorn Clark's testimony continued, she brought up another rival of Sean Diddy Combs and another allegation that he made an ominous threat of violence. Clark testified, when working for Diddy, they went to a press event at MTV and 50 Cent was there. And just wait until you hear what she says Diddy told 50's manager. 50 Cent's real name is Curtis Jackson. He rose to fame in the early 2000s. You might remember songs like In the Club. You might remember that he was the leader of the rap group G-Unit. Now, 50 grew up in Jamaica, Queens, New York. Diddy, also a New York native. He was born in Harlem, grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, just about 20 miles away. And even though they both had success in music, they both rose to fame representing the city of New York and the rap scene there, they have been longtime rivals. In 2006, 50 Cent released a diss track about Diddy. So almost 20 years ago, this goes back a long way. And in that diss track, he says, quote, "Who shot Biggie Smalls? We don't get 'em. They gon' kill us all. Man, Puffy know who hit that expletive. Man, that expletive soft." Now, 50 is accusing Combs there of knowing who killed his friend, the notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace. Wallace and Puffy were incredibly close, but Wallace was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles in 1997, and no one has ever been charged for pulling the trigger. This all happened during really the height of the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry of the 90s, which involved Suge Knight, who we mentioned earlier. 50 Cent has also accused Diddy of orchestrating the murder of death row rapper Tupac Shakur, who died in 1996 in a Las Vegas drive-by shooting. This is Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He was arrested in September 2023, and he is the only person facing charges related to Tupac's murder. But 50 Cent has continued to push the allegation that Sean Combs either knows something or did something for Tupac to end up dead, though Diddy has denied that. But in a 2023 Instagram post, 50 wrote, "Damn, so Pac got lined by brother love, LOL, time to lawyer up, expletive might get sticky with..."
This question mark. This is raw, unfiltered, explosive, and it's shaking the entertainment world to its core. 50 Cent just exposed secrets so dark, so disturbing that even longtime industry insiders are stunned. Secrets about Diddy's infamous parties. Secrets about hidden tapes. Secrets about who was really there, behind the velvet ropes, sipping champagne and watching the madness unfold. And it's not just about Diddy anymore. 50 is dragging the whole house down. Hollywood elites, music moguls, billionaires. He's not throwing shade. He's naming names, pulling receipts, dropping facts that make your skin crawl. He started on social media, The battlefield he knows best. They thought the courtroom was bad? He said. Wait until y'all see the footage. Boom. One post and the internet exploded.
The pic of Suge Knight in a car with Tupac. Diddy, who has a lot of names, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Puff, and Brother Love is one of those other names. Now, from Diddy's side of things, again, he's denied having anything to do with Tupac's murder, and he's also denied having anything to do with Christopher Wallace's death, and he's denied publicly having issues with 50 Cent. Here's what Combs said when he was asked about a beef with 50 in a 2018 interview with the radio show The Breakfast Club, Power 105.1 FM.
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with
I don't know why.
With Fifth. He loves me. He loves me.
Do y'all really
can't
have
see
a
it?
beef?
I mean, y'all can't see it.
No, we can't see
Y'all
it,
can't
man.
see that he loves me?
But see,
you really think that's hate?
If you look at 50's social media, you can see he has a lot of posts about Diddy. And this is what he posted the day that federal agents in Miami raided Combs' mansion ahead of his arrest on the charges that he's now on trial for. 50 Cent posted on X, now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case. 50 Cent also included a link to his G-Unit clothing brand in that post. While Diddy in the Breakfast Club clip said that 50 Cent actually loves him and there was never a beef, on the stand this week, Capricorn Clark said otherwise. Clark said that she was at this press event at MTV with Diddy and 50 Cent was also there, all of this happening in New York. Clark said, quote, after the interview wrapped up, myself, Puff, and Chris Lighty got in the elevator. Clark said that Lighty was an entertainment manager who, on paper, was managing Diddy at the time, but was also 50 Cent's manager at the time. Prosecutors asked Clark what happened in the elevator, and she said, quote, Puff told Chris, because they were having some sort of issue, like, I really don't like all the back and forth. I don't do that. I like guns. The prosecutor then asked, what's the issue with an individual? And Clark responded, he had an issue with 50 Cent. She said Combs was very serious when he said that. In this case, it has become common to hear testimony from witnesses about alleged threats by Diddy. In fact, several witnesses have said that Diddy regularly threatened to fire people, to beat people, like his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, and in this case, making a threat involving firearms to settle a dispute per the testimony of someone who was one of his closest associates for more than a decade. Invoking gun violence and some sort of veiled threat, that could be scary for some, but apparently not 50 Cent. On Instagram, 50 posted right after his name came up in the courtroom, quote, cut, wait a minute. Puffy's got a gun? I can't believe this. I don't feel safe, with a picture that looked like an AI image of 50 Cent on a movie set looking serious. And he wasn't done. Shortly after that, he posted another AI image on Instagram of him in a Yankees hat with a very scared look on his face with the caption, oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. Sad face emoji. I think I'm gonna hide out at the playoff game tonight, LOL. Then the next day he posted what he did that night. He went to the NBA playoff game between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. And you can see him here in a picture on the floor in a shirt that reads, quote, Free Diddy, playing into the trolling that 50 Cent has done to Sean Combs over the years, even before Combs was ever accused of what he is on trial for. Now, Combs' trial is expected to last another month at least. He's charged with racketeering, sex trafficking by force, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty. Join us now to talk more about the trial of Sean Diddy Combs and everything that's going on inside the courtroom is Afi Patterson, civil and criminal defense attorney. Thanks for taking the time to be with us. We're focusing on what was a minor moment in the grand scheme of everything.
Then he followed up. Hints about certain after parties that turned into nightmares. Celebrities showing up, phones locked away, NDAs signed, cameras rolling. But the cameras weren't always off. And now, those tapes, they're surfacing. You ever wonder why some people just disappeared? 50 asked. Why certain artists just vanished overnight? He wasn't asking for effect. He was daring people to answer. He described scenes that sound more like horror films than celebrity parties. Drugged drinks, hidden cameras, guests who walked in smiling and left destroyed. And all of it, according to 50, orchestrated to keep people under control. to own them. He said those tapes weren't just insurance, they were weapons. Used to keep people quiet, used to manipulate, used to trade power like currency. And Diddy? According to 50 ? He was the king of that sick economy.
Real Diddy party looks like. The video showed a number of famous faces, including Jay-Z and Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, her then-husband Kanye West, Naomi Campbell, and several others who were all together to celebrate Diddy's 50th birthday in 2019. Fast forward to 2024, 50 was asked why there have been so many silent voices when it comes to celebs speaking out about Diddy, as if they're afraid to speak up. 50 replied in part, some of them were involved at the parties and enjoyed themselves, so they don't know what the F is on the tape or what's not on the tape. So they're not going to say anything because they might have had too much fun. And then you've got other people who look at it and go, well, that's not my business and I don't want to be in it. Then you got a part of our culture that says that's snitching or dry snitching. It's uncomfortable for me to say what I said because I've been saying this stuff for 4 or 5 years. Everybody else is not going to be as comfortable as I'm saying it. 50 Cent then alleged there's one famous friend that is aware of Diddy's alleged disturbing behavior. R&B legend Mary J. Blige, who got her start at Diddy's Bad Boy Records, has been a longtime friend of the embattled rapper and producer. But she reportedly has a great relationship with 50 Cent as well. When asked if Mary J. Blige reached out to 50, he responded, no. You know what? Mary never reached out to tell me not to F up Puffy because she knows he does that stuff. As Diddy and 50 Cent have long been in the rap game, they share another commonality, and that's 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend and the mother of his youngest son, Daphne Joy Navarez. The actress and OnlyFans model was named in Rodney Jones' suit against Diddy as she was referenced to as an alleged sex worker of Diddy's that also gets paid a monthly stipend. She has denied those allegations in a post made to social media, writing, "I am deeply hurt by the lies in Rodney Jones' lawsuit. The claim that I'm a sex worker is 100% false and character assassination. I am retaining an attorney to explore all legal remedies against both Rodney and his attorney." 50 Cent seemingly poked fun at the allegation of the mother of his son being an alleged sex worker. In a post made to his social media page, 50 wrote a caption, "I didn't know you was a sex worker, you little sex worker, LOL." But this would prompt Daphne Joy to respond to her ex again on social media, but this time would accuse 50 directly of rape and being abusive during their relationship. She would write in part, "Everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos onto people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs? For nothing. Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of raping me and physically abusing me. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time." Those allegations against 50 Cent would prompt him to fire back against his ex Daphne Joy and sue her for defamation. In his suit, 50 Cent said those allegations were unequivocally false and would claim she made the shocking allegations in retaliation after he moved to take sole custody of their son. Since that suit, Daphne has deleted her Instagram post accusing 50 of rape and physical abuse. 50 Cent was asked by The Hollywood Reporter the latest in the defamation suit. The rapper and television.
But it doesn't stop there. 50 said this network of control stretches into Hollywood, into politics, into billion-dollar circles that don't want you knowing their names. The same faces y'all idolize. He said, they were there, they knew. And now he's dropping hints that more is coming. A full expose. Maybe even a docuseries. One that won't just wreck careers, it'll upend the whole game. People gonna be scared when this drops, he warned. And they should be. The footage, he claims, includes household names. Not just musicians, actors, CEOs, media giants. All playing roles in this web of control. And now, 50 says it's time for the world to see what's been hiding in plain sight. He said, "Y'all called it glamorous. I call it sick." He even teased that some of the footage was already handed off. Journalists, whistleblowers, even federal agents. And he warned, if anything happens to him, it's too late anyway. "The files ain't just mine anymore," he wrote. "It's bigger than me now." Fans are shook. Celebrities are quiet. PR teams are scrambling. Because when 50 Cent talks, especially like this, you better believe he's holding cards. And right now, he's playing hard. He posted old photos, screen grabs, even clips from interviews where people hinted but never spoke. And now, suddenly, those clips hit different. Now the puzzle is forming.
Was found guilty on 2 out of 5 counts, according to NBC News reporters present when the New York jury announced its determination July 2nd. Combs, who pleaded not guilty to all charges, was convicted of prostitution-related offenses, but acquitted of the sex trafficking and racketeering charges in his case. After his verdict was announced, stars who have been connected to Combs over the years spoke out on social media, with fellow rapper 50 Cent posting a photo of himself smiling and mocking Combs' good fortune. He wrote alongside the pic, "Diddy beat the feds, that boy a bad man, beat the Rico," before comparing him to late mobster John Gotti. Aubrey O'Day, Combs' former protege and member of Danity Kane, also shared her candid reaction to his fate. She said while filming CNN's live coverage of the verdict on her Instagram stories,
"Oh my God.
The jury did not
guilty on Cassie, not guilty on Rico. No way that Jane is going to be guilty.
There was the video, of course, where he was.
Oh, this makes me physically ill.
Lobby.
Cassie probably feels so horrible.
Coercion involved in that. It could still be that the jury finds,
Ronnie,
yes, a person
I'm gonna vomit.
was moved across.
Ahead of the verdict, Aubrey spoke to E! News about what justice would look like for her in relation to the case.
Justice for me in this setting, I would like to see all of the crimes that I know are true for him to serve time for all of those, personally. Professionally, I would like the prosecution to have done such an incredible job that nobody had any questions right now, and a lot of people have questions. At this point, if I'm going to blend those two worlds together, I would like to see a world in which they really connected the dots. I'd like to see them really bring home the charges that they indicted him for, because it's a dangerous game to play at a federal level against a billionaire mogul. There's cause for concern when you watch the trial, the very first part of it all play out, and there's still questions for people. I don't have any questions, but the prosecution needs to have done a good enough job to make sure that the jury doesn't.
Also speaking out was an attorney for Cassie Ventura, who dated Combs on and off from 2007 until 2018, and testified during the trial about the alleged abuse she was subject to during their relationship. Her lawyer said in a statement to E! News, "This entire criminal process started when our client, Cassie Ventura, had the courage to file her civil complaint in November 2023. Although the jury did not find Combs guilty of sex trafficking Cassie beyond a reasonable doubt, she paved the way for a jury to find him guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution." Her attorney added, "We must repeat with no reservation that we believe..."
Y'all worship devils in disguise, 50 said, and I'm here to unmask them all. This isn't just another beef. This is an industry detonation. 50's going scorched earth. And Diddy? He's at the center of it. This is just part one. The reckoning has begun. But 50 didn't stop there. No, this wasn't just about airing dirty laundry. This was about dismantling an entire system built on fear and silence. The music industry, the movie industry, the fashion industry, they're all in the crosshairs now. Y'all think it's just Diddy? That man was a symptom. 50 wrote. I'm coming for the disease. He said there's a network of enablers, executives, managers, agents, all of them benefiting, all of them silent. And 50 says he's not stopping until they're exposed too. One by one, he started dropping names. Not just artists, but the people behind them, the ones who pull the strings. Y'all let this man do whatever he wanted for decades. And now that the world's watching, y'all acting surprised? He talked about the pattern. How young artists were groomed, manipulated, and discarded. How power was used like a weapon. It was never about talent, he said. It was about control. He posted cryptic messages, black and white images, screenshots of contracts, snapshots of event guest lists, all hinting at a much bigger machine, one that's been running unchecked for years. And then came the stories. Tales of what really went on inside those private parties. The ones that required passwords to enter. The ones where cameras were hidden in chandeliers. The ones where the guest lists included senators, tech CEOs, and household names who always kept their hands clean in public. Some of your faves ain't who you think they are, 50 warned. Y'all been cheering for monsters. He claimed there were parties where guests were lured into compromising situations, where they were filmed without consent, where those tapes were later used to force silence or allegiance. And if someone resisted, they were blacklisted, destroyed, or worse. Y'all want to know why some people disappeared? He asked again. This is why. It didn't take...
I do think the signs are ominous. These are very grave matters. As you know, there have been 2 raids on his properties, and that's obviously very ominous signs for him, although interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence, but still, these are very serious matters. So I think he faces some serious reckoning.
Diddy faces a staggering number of civil lawsuits for sexual misconduct, 10 that have been filed since last November. Former adult film star Adria English filed her suit on July 3rd of this year, claiming she was first employed by Combs in 2004 and was groomed into sex trafficking over time. In May of this year, April Lampros filed her lawsuit against Combs, accusing him of battery and sexual assault. 2 days prior to Lampros' suit being filed, Crystal McKinney also filed a suit against Diddy. McKinney alleges she met Combs at a studio where he gave her a lace joint, alcohol, then forced her to the bathroom and forced her to perform oral sex on him. Rodney Jones Jr. filed his lawsuit in federal court in February of this year that accuses Combs and the people who work with him of being part of an illegal racketeering enterprise. He also accused Diddy of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and harassment. Then there's a suit filed by a woman under the moniker Jane Doe, which was filed in December of 2023. Doe alleges she was gang raped and sex trafficked by Combs and former Bad Boy Records president Harve Pierre when she was just 17 years old and in the 11th grade. Liza Gardner filed her lawsuit against Combs and R&B singer Aaron Hall in November of 2023, alleging the two forced her to have sex with them against her will when she was 16 years old. On the same day Gardner's suit was filed, another suit was filed, this one by Joy Dickerson Neal. She alleges Combs intentionally drugged her, then sexually assaulted her and recorded the assault. And then there's the only lawsuit that has been settled, a mere day after it was filed in federal court, and that's the federal lawsuit filed by Diddy's ex-girlfriend, singer and actress Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie. In Cassie's now settled lawsuit against her ex, she accused Diddy of sexual assault, battery, sex trafficking, and requiring her to engage in forced sexual acts. Since the ongoing suits, Diddy has appeared to be living his life. He's been pictured biking around South Beach, getting onto his lavish private jet, and even whitewater rafting. But for his accusers, it hasn't been sitting well. After the photos were made public of Diddy seemingly enjoying his summer vacation in Wyoming, Cassie's lawyer Douglas Wigder released a statement to TMZ saying, quote, "I don't think whitewater rafting will prepare him for the choppy waters that lie ahead." Adria English, Diddy's most recent accuser's attorney, also weighed in, saying, after seeing defendant Combs whitewater rafting and jetting around on his personal plane, seemingly enjoying his life despite all the atrocities he has caused.
Long before the damage control machine kicked in, lawyers issuing statements, celebs quietly deleting photos, influencers going radio silent. But 50 kept pushing. He started sharing clips from old interviews, moments that didn't mean much before but now sound like warnings. Artists nervously laughing when asked about Diddy's parties. Singers dodging questions about what really happened behind the scenes. Dancers who vanished after speaking out. And then came the unreleased footage. Y'all want to see what really happened? 50 posted. And while he didn't drop the full video, what he shared was enough. A short clip. Blurry but chilling. A crowded room. Music blasting. And in the background, a hidden camera. A moment that wasn't supposed to be captured. A moment that told a much darker story. It was enough to get the world talking. People started connecting dots, rewatching interviews, rereading articles, digging up lawsuits that were buried in NDAs. And everywhere they looked, Diddy's name kept coming up. But 50 said it's bigger than that. This ain't just about revenge. This is about justice. Y'all forgot what that looks like. And justice? That's what he's chasing now. He said the tapes are going to the right people. That a team of journalists and investigators are already on it. That this time it's not going to get swept under the rug. You can't silence everybody, he said. Not anymore. Not when the truth's this loud. The industry is nervous. You can feel it. Canceled shows, abrupt contract terminations, silent exits. Because when 50 Cent shines a spotlight, there's nowhere left to hide. And still, he kept posting. Photos of party invites, names of stylists who disappeared, emails leaked, contracts that looked more like traps than deals, all pointing to a culture of exploitation. Then he turned his attention to the fans. Y'all helped build these monsters, now help tear them down. He called on people to stop protecting predators just because they made hits, to stop pretending success excuses evil. The music was good, so what? Evil doesn't get a pass because it's got a good beat. And the message is landing. You can feel the shift. More voices speaking up. More survivors stepping forward. More fans demanding answers. The silence is breaking. And as it breaks, 50 keeps pushing. He says this is just phase 1, that what's coming next will make this look like a trailer, a full series, a podcast, interviews, witnesses. And maybe most chilling of all, he says this isn't just about exposing, it's about making sure it never happens again. We ain't just burning down the house, he said. We building something new, from scratch. And this time, no devils allowed. So if you thought this was just another social media rant, think again. This is a reckoning, an unmasking, a cultural purge. And Diddy? He's just the first domino, because 50 Cent is coming. And he's not leaving until the whole game changes. For good.